Welcome to the You Can't Handle the Truth Sports podcast. We're back. Back, damn it. This is so good. It has been a little while. It's been a minute, and that has mostly been due to the technical difficulties of our, it's not to do with us really. It's to do with everyone else that's wrong. But welcome. I'm Rubbish. I am the one they call Rubbish, and with me is my most, the guy that, he drags me off the ledge. He's the voice of reason. He is the man who puts thought into his statements before he actually says them. Unlike me, where I just full on go, you know what? I don't like this. With me is the pistol. Love the bloke. How you doing, mate? You going well?
Yeah, good mate. Yeah, as you say, it's been a minute, but yeah, we have done a couple of these, and both of them have failed the last two. So hopefully, third time's a charm.
Yeah, it's been garbage, but that's okay. Look, we keep trialing. Let's face it, we're not getting paid money for this, so we just do it,
exactly.
and we just work out, and a lot of it is just about mates talking footy and or just sports, and so yeah, no, it's good. It's good to be back, and hopefully this one works out well. There's been a lot that's gone on since last we did one of these podcasts. And, the Dockers, our team, are looking very, very good. And, I continue to cop a lot of criticism online.
Fair feedback.
Feedback would be the way that it's the way you would call it. There are people who simply don't agree, and that's fine. And I'm completely, you know what, I like the reason why we do this, and the reason why we have these ongoing discussions is because it's fun to talk about. The only thing is that what I would say is that I just wish people would not take things so personally. I certainly don't think that you or I, or especially not you, but me either. I don't feel like we get abusive. I don't feel like we get we don't cross lines. But yeah, we've got strong opinions about the club we love, right? And
we certainly don't take photos of JL's car and post it on Twitter.
No, even though that wasn't his car.
I know.
By the way, yeah, but no, but you don't do that shit. And to be honest, like somebody the other day actually pulled me up and said, you know what, calling somebody an idiot and calling them moronic is abuse. And I thought about it. I was like, well, I suppose you could look at it that way, because I've always said, look, I don't get abusive. But then, yeah, I've said that. I think one of my more annoyed tweets was, we've got the biggest moron in the, in Australian sports as our CEO, and I believe we've got the worst CEO in Australian sports. I believe Simon Garlick is the single worst CEO in sports, and I stand by that. That's what I believe. But he's saying that we've got the most moronic CEO in sports. Is that abusive? Maybe. I kind of feel like it's on the benign end of abuse. It's not like I'm personally, going, sending him text messages and I'll give his number, but I don't know. What was the line to draw? I feel like strong opinions. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
is that crossing the line?
Probably if we have to start looking at if it's crossing a line, that we're probably on it or past it. If we're starting to talk about if we're on the line or not, but I think it's pretty tame. But I guess it's a name calling, very minor schoolyard. Like, gee, take a foot over the white line on the football field and see what you cop.
I know, and you know what? That's not an excuse. I kind of feel like, Yeah, I've always felt like I don't name call. Generally, that's part of, I think, one of the things that we don't do. But you're right. I do say, well, it's moronic. Yeah, yeah, okay. Maybe. I don't believe it's abuse. It's not consistent.
Mm.
It's like one or two or three tweets. Um, you know, and that's just standard, footy talk, right? It's not. I don't think it's. Yeah, that's me personally, anyway. But
Is there a
um,
difference between, say, others calling whether it's a coach or a player, say, dumb? Because I have seen that quite a bit. That's just dumb.
yeah, yeah,
Like, is
yeah.
there much difference between dumb and moron?
Yeah, I don't think so. I personally don't think so. And and I've said a number of times, Simon Gully, Dave Walls, Justin Lomua. I'm sure they're lovely blokes. I don't know. This isn't a them thing. It's what I'm talking about is the direction of our club. I still look. I know we've won 8 of our last 9 games, right? Or is it 9 of our last 10? I think it's 8 of our last 9.
Yeah.
I've still got absolutely no faith in this regime. Zero faith. Because I honestly believe what will happen from here if we make the finals, is we're just going to get kicked out in the first week. I don't feel like we're in the right direction. I don't feel like we've got the right coach. I feel like Simon Garlic continues to make, um, you know, boneheaded statements around, things like father son, which I get. Like I like father son. It's the
Mm.
academies that are the problem, and it's the free agency
Yeah.
compensation that's the problem, not father son. Father son's been around
Yeah,
forever.
we don't want to ruin father son before we actually get a chance with your Mondays and Pabs and stuff.
Exactly. Like it really. Like I just really feel like Simon is not a good CEO, and not for our club anyway. That's just
And
me. But there's a lot of good things I'm sure that he's done, but I really feel like we should be looking at Brian Cook, but you know, I'd be moving Simon on pretty quickly. But that's just me. Um, just an opinion. Sure, he's a lovely bloke. Got nothing against him personally. It's just
yeah,
I just want our club to be where it should be, where it needs to be, where it's never been.
yeah.
Um, and same with Wolves. Like yeah, I've probably been the hardest on Wolves out of anyone. I feel like he is a master when it comes to he's a master when it comes to the back end of the draft and the SSP and all the rest of it. But
Well,
Jesus,
look at even today, Carl Warner, who we've just signed on for another couple of years. He was a
yeah,
rookie list, so
yeah,
we're able to nail those. And I guess
I
that's where
think
a lot of people are coming for you, where you're criticising Wolves. You're not criticising him for those picks. You're
no,
criticising him for not being able to do the same thing with the top end.
that's that's my concern. Now, as for Warner, I think he might have been a mid-season pick. And how
Yeah,
many
I'm not sure. I
mid-season?
just thought I was saying rookie
Oh,
list, but
oh,
same thing.
no, I'm pretty sure he might have been he's probably one of the better mid-season picks ever picked. Um, my problem with Wolves is that he picks Erasmus ahead of Nazaya Wanganeen Miller. And Erasmus I don't think is going to make it. He's picked Michael Johnson. He's, I think
Well, the
below average.
problem with Rads
Um,
is he's probably going to, if he makes it, it's not going to be with us.
no, no, if he makes it, it won't be with us. You know, you're dropping in and out there a bit, mate. You good?
Yeah, yeah, should be good.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just feel like yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I you can't get every first round pick right. I understand that. I'm not an idiot,
Yeah.
right? but I do expect you got to get better than 60%, 50%. You got to get better than that, right? That's what I truly believe, and I feel like if you've got top 10, top 20 picks, you've got to be able to do better than that. Look, Griffin Logue could be the worst top 10 pick in the last 10 years. That guy just had 11 kicked on him by Jeremy Cameron. Like, he is a horrible footballer. Like, he is terrible. Like, and we thought that he was a top 8 pick.
Yep.
Yeah, I just don't. I really do think that there's so many of these picks. Now, people keep pointing to Young and Sarong. Well, yeah, we got Young and Sarong right. We did. But who do we pick next? Liam Henry. He's also garbage. So, I don't know. Am I too harsh?
And
Do you disagree? Like,
well,
am
the
I,
Liam Henry one's interesting because we had him sitting under our nose. If I'm not mistaken, he was an NGA. So we knew exactly what we were getting when we picked him up. And we still went with it.
Yeah, and now everyone keeps pointing to me going, well, we didn't give up pick 11 for him. What we gave up was pick 40 and pick 32 and pick 38 or whatever. Yeah, I get that. We didn't give up pick 11. We gave up the equivalent of the points for pick 11.
Yeah.
My argument now is that any of those players that pick 38, 32, 30, whatever, probably most of them are better than Liam Henry anyway.
And Walls' record with picking with those picks is probably better than he did with Henry's pick.
Yeah, it's just bad. And I don't know. I just really feel like now, look, everyone then goes, well, what about Murphy Reed? And I say, well, you all realise that that Walls didn't want Murphy Reed. Walls didn't want him. Walls wanted Berry. The only reason that we got Murphy Reed is because the Eagles, who wanted Bo Allen, traded a pick with Port, who wanted Berry, to finagle it so that they got the players they wanted. If everything had have stayed the way it was, Fremantle would have picked Berry. And Reed would have probably ended up at Port Adelaide. Now, fortunately, we've worked out the winner out of that. But it would have been embarrassing. Like, this guy Reed, I'm telling you, man, he could well be I've said this before, and again, cop criticism. He could be the most talented player we've ever picked up aside from Pavlich.
Yeah.
This guy.
Well, the comparisons during the week have been Pendlebury and Ablett.
Yeah. Now, we fell ass backwards into him. It wasn't because Wolves had pinpointed him. He wanted Berry. So stop pretending like this guy is the guy. He is brilliant when the pressure's off. The pressure is off. All right, late pick. Yeah, this guy's got some upside. So I absolutely believe that he has ability as a talent man. But when it comes to what his key role is, smashing out the first picks, he's not very good. Not when you compare him to some of his contemporaries. And the other thing that winds me up about him, he gets bent over at every single trade. Like when was the last trade we won?
I couldn't tell you, mate.
Tell me.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Could not tell you.
No. Look, people will point to Shea Bolton. Well, he's been good. Has he been 2 firsts good? All right, you tell me.
what we paid, I would have expected him to be banging on the door of an All-Australian berth, given that we're in the 8.
Me too. Now, is he all Australian worthy at the moment?
Not at the moment. He's had a good year, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
He's had a very good year, but he would not be in the, what is it, 40 that they pick initially?
He wouldn't be in the 40, would he? Nah.
No.
No, I agree. Yeah. I know
But
we're at a
that's not to
sensitive.
say he's not going to turn around next year after he has a proper pre-season, because he had that injury interrupted one.
Yeah.
And then turns it
Eh,
around and he
I've lost you.
has it all Australian year next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know, mate. Like he's been good, but is he going to be worth that? I don't know. The only way Shea Bolton trade works out for us is if we win a flag. In my mind, if we win a flag and he's been a big part of it, okay, I can accept that trade. But what I will say is that the Richmond picks are looking pretty bloody good. Those guys are looking pretty good. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're Richmond, that's how you build quick.
Yep. No, Richmond, I think, have done a great job, and that's what they needed to do. If Eagles had any capital, that's what they would be doing. They do have capital. He's Harley Reid, but they're not going to get rid of him. So, yeah, how else do you do it? So anyway, we've probably gone away from the from the run sheet for a while. I haven't looked at any of it. I guess probably the first thing, bit of an AFL recap. Derby last weekend. So we smacked the Eagles. We should have. We left 10 goals on the table. We should have.
Oh,
It
at least.
Should have been like North Melbourne and Geelong. Really.
Yeah,
Should have.
it was sort of like an off week after what we did against, well, what we got away with against the Pies. We've had a bit of a down week, and it was lucky that we come up against West Coast in our off week. I mean, we still won by 49, but it was lucky we were playing West Coast when we butchered that many opportunities. But I mean, I think JL said it one of his presses that I guess the positive is that we're still getting those shots, and it's And the week before we took those shots, but this week we did.
So I think this is part of the reason why I've got a little, not the faith in the, in the Dockers that I really like. There's a lot of people who got a lot of faith in them.
Yeah.
I just don't trust them because part of it is just I've got scars, right? Like every Dockers supporter, I've got scars. Part of it is just that, if you can't beat down, if you can't smack a team as inept as West Coast, who are a waffle side,
Yeah.
if you can't do that, then how good are you really? Like I get JL, says, oh, you take wins and a lot of people are saying, well, they're doing what they've got to do. Well, we've only just done what we can do every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Aside from the Collingwood game, I'd say that we went above and beyond that game. But every other week, we've only just got by. So why, how can you have faith in a team that doesn't put the foot down, as it needs to?
Especially when we're in a position where we needed that percentage boost. Like I know 49 points does give you a little bit, but that should have really been your 80-point mark. Like just looking at some of the stats, we had about 60 odd more disposals, and then you come down to stoppages, and we had 19 more clearances, at the stoppage clearances, we had 18 more, 30 odd contested possessions more. Like, they got absolutely spanked.
So I don't blame the scoring as much because I feel like, okay, you can miss set shots and goal. We were, 18-18? I don't blame that side of thing. I blame the ridiculously easy goals that the Eagles got towards the end. You know, they're the ones that are like, it's the easy defense. It's the lax defense at the end. It's
Yeah,
kind of
what we
like,
allowed 5 goals, 1 in the last.
you know, they couldn't. The West Coast Eagles couldn't kick 5 goals, 1 at footy training. You know what I mean? Like they're that garbage, you know. So
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like, you know, like what was our defense doing? And it feels like our defense, which is meant to be a strength, and maybe part of this is Pierce being out, but you know, I know you got strong thoughts on Oscar McDonald and a few others, but I just kind of feel like we, you know, Alex Pierce is 30, right? He's injury plagued. He is not going to be around for much longer, I don't believe. So
No.
is this the defence we've got to look forward to? Luke Ryan looks old. He's what, 29? He's slowed down. Like, he's had good games. He's had a good season. He doesn't look like
His
he's going to go around for
shoulders
another
have
three.
dropped.
He looks look to me. He looks solid, like a bit bulkier than what maybe. You know, I don't. Maybe he's just push more weights or whatever. I don't know. There might be something they can do there, but he doesn't look like he moves as freely as what he used to. So, you
Yeah.
know, is this our defense? Is this, you know, what we can expect? Because I'm not sure I love this defense the way it is at the moment.
Well, I mean, we've got Draper and who's the other one? Davies back in the waffle. I mean, Davies played 2 or 3 games or whatever it is, a handful.
Is he even going to be kept? Is he even going to be kept on the list? Pretty sure he's
Well,
out of contract.
anytime any of the players are asked who to look out for, they've mentioned Davies' name. So
Ollie Murphy.
he's loved internally, but I don't know a lot about Ollie. I haven't seen him play too much, but
he was a top 20 pick, or top 20, top 30 pick.
Yeah. I mean, he may be going all right. I just haven't seen him down at Peel too much.
Yeah, me either. So I don't know. But anyway, look, let's just talk about the result. Look, we smashed them. Feels like we smashed them by more than what we did. Hayden Young, well, yeah,
he's ridiculous.
I saw. I can't remember who it was. It was somebody online, yeah, but it was like maybe on Fox Footy or something. She said, "Oh,
Kate
Hayden Young
McCarthy.
is Kate McCarthy." Yeah, quickly proving that Hayden Young is like the most important player for the Dockers. I'm like,
Where have you
kidding
been?
me? Yeah, where have you been? He's been the most important player for years. What are you talking about? Like, that just proves that they don't watch, they don't care.
Yeah.
You know. But the guy, I think, that I'd like to talk about most, he's my love. You know, he's my footy man at the moment. He's my guy, Murphy Reid. Jesus,
Yeah.
this guy is something else. He is something else. I know you mentioned about Pendlebury and the other player. I can't remember who you said.
Ablett, though.
Ablett. Oh my goodness, this guy. I'm not saying. I don't know. I don't see Ablett. I see Pendlebury though. Whew.
I see Pendles as well, but Ablett was one that I can't remember who even said it during the week, but yeah.
Yeah, geez, he is a player, and yeah. So I'm just so happy that he signed on. You know, for another couple of years. So yeah, he's going to be a guy who we're going to really, really rely on. And I saw Schmuck had an article in the paper on the AFL website today about Murphy, slowly trying to, build up his base, and that's enable him to go into the midfield. It's just a matter of time before he goes in the
Oh,
midfield, and
absolutely. Yeah.
when he does, he is going to cut up, because he's going to be up against guys who think that they're bulls, and they are bulls, but he's going to just outsmart them. Oh,
Yeah.
he will find his way through the midfield quicker and more easily than what any of those guys will be able to. And
Yeah.
he's got the composure to deliver the ball into the forward line like no one else has. And so, oh my goodness, he's such a good player. I just wish we could sign. He should be getting the Harley Reid deal, not Harley Reid. Murphy should be getting the Harley Reid deal,
Yeah.
But you know, um, yeah. Would you agree with all of that?
I completely agree with that. Yeah. One of his biggest fans as well, mate.
Yeah,
Anytime the kid goes near it.
yeah. Every time he goes near it, something good is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Um, so we've got here, like, give some flowers to the team and coaches. I'll let you run with this one.
Yeah, so I guess and I won't speak on your behalf, but I guess for myself, been quite critical over the course of the year. And off the back of that St Kilda game and I wasn't alone. Most of the supporter base were absolutely scathing, and was needed to be. But since then, like, we lost the following week against Collingwood, but it was an improved performance. And I think every week from that week onwards, something in the game has improved. So whether it's been the way we've been playing, or it's been coaching, or it's been players in and out of the side, whatever it is, we've improved the component every step of the way. The Swans game was a little bit of a hiccup, so we had the clearance issues there, and then that followed again the next week. But following those 2 weeks against the Swans and the Saints, JL seemed to be able to iron out any issues relatively quickly, like he was doing it within the quarter. And you could noticeably see that, like, watching the game. So not just the players of the team, like, the performance has improved, but I think his coaching has improved. I'm not going to say that he's, in my mind, he's now, yep, he's the man, but I've just noticeably seen a change in his coaching. And if I'm going to sit there and criticise him, I've got to be able to give him some credit at the same time. So
yeah,
the
yeah,
last,
yeah,
what was the 8 or 9 games we've won, or dropped one in that period. So, yeah, improved performance across the board.
yeah. I agree. I agree with all of that, and I feel like yeah, everything you've said. I even had a post probably about 2 weeks ago where I said, I'm slowly starting to come around to him. I Yeah, the hard thing for me is, until they prove it, I'm not going to trust them. And so
Yeah,
they are proving it week by week. I get it. My problem is that I still feel like we're going to get into the first week of finals and get smacked, or whatever. But maybe it won't happen. Maybe they'll prove it. Maybe they'll go out and they'll win a couple of finals and they'll get to a prelim. Um, if they do that, then all right, there'll be a bit more credibility. I
yeah,
guess I've seen these sorts of performances before. I like to think that you know, you like to think that they're improving, but I just, yeah, you're right though. You got to give them the flowers, because all they're doing is what they have to do, right?
yeah,
And Freo this year have had, it was the fourth hardest draw at the start of the year. They've had the fourth hardest draw. Um,
yeah,
they've won games that we beat Gold Coast in Gold Coast. We beat GWS in Sydney, and we
Yep.
beat the Magpies at the MCG. That is a trifecta of good winning. That's really, really good. I feel like we get Carlton, a really vulnerable Carlton this way. They've got no Curnow, no Walsh, no Chera, no, they've got a lot of players out. And Carlton are always our bogey team, right?
Yep.
This is another opportunity to smack the crap out of a team. And,
Yep.
it's these kinds of games where I start, are we going to show up? Because if we don't show up and belt them, like last week against West Coast, if we don't absolutely belt a team who deserve a belting, well, then that's where you start creeping into your mind. Well, do they really have it? And yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm at.
I'm a bit the same, to be honest. Now, I think most supporters will be. There's always that as good as they're going, they're always just one week away from a St Kilda performance.
Yeah, and maybe it's our lot in life to be like that until we win a flag, and then once we win a flag, we go, oh, okay, well they can do it. But maybe maybe that's just where we're at. But you're right, they deserve some flowers. They deserve, JL. I mean, you're right. After that St Kilda game, we were baying for blood. Myself more so than anyone. We wanted him out, and it wasn't just me. It was a lot of people. And all right, we haven't done that. Yeah. I maintain my stance that if we don't win, oh, jeez, is it 2 finals or 1? I'm somewhere like if we don't win 1 minimum final, then we should be getting John Longmire in. But
So if finals are played this week, right, which would mean we go to GWS to play the first final. How would you feel about losing to GWS in the first week of the finals? Where would that sit with you?
Sack JO. Yeah. Sack him. But you could put any team there. If we lose the first week of the finals, I don't see any situation in which we should be keeping the coach. But what would actually happen? Unfortunately, and a big reason why this podcast was created is because of, the annoyance around the acceptance of, mediocrity. I feel like even if we make finals, everyone will be like, oh, well, we've got the greatest coach, we've got the greatest this, we've got the greatest that. No. We can't accept just a meek finals exit. The team is too talented for that. You've got one of the great coaches sitting there in the wings, waiting to go.
Yeah, I think it'll be all. If we did happen to make finals, then that's an if at this stage, because if you go back 12 months, we lost the last 4 and missed the finals. So, if we make the finals and if we lost that first week, I think it'll depend on how we lost. If we come out and got pumped, that's one story. If we come out and it was a Collingwood game and we just went under, I think it's a slightly different story if we're away from home.
But why would we accept it? I don't get it. Do you believe we're the 7th best team talent-wise in the league?
Talent-wise, I think we're top 4. Pure talent.
Why? So do I. I think we've got a top 4 team. I think we've got probably a bottom 4 coach, and I've upgraded him from bottom 2 to bottom 4. I just don't think we're very well coached. I personally believe that, and yeah, there's nothing that's happened in the last 8 weeks that's changed that. Although, the Collingwood game, I'm starting to soften. I think I'm starting to soften a little bit.
Yeah. I've seen
Um,
some noticeable change in how quick they are to react.
yeah,
Between the
yeah,
Saints and the Swans game, where the Swans game was near on 3/4 of getting absolutely smashed before they changed something.
yeah,
And then they near
yeah.
on did the same thing with the Saints.
So maybe, yeah, maybe. Oh, look, I can be won over. All I want is the club to be successful. All I
Hmm.
want, like same as you, same as everyone. All I want is them to win a flag. Um,
Yeah.
so I can be won over. Not that they give a shit whether I'm being won over or not, but
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, speaking
yeah,
of being one over, like you look at the next 4 weeks, then they're winnable games. Like if you look at we beat Collingwood in Melbourne, then you look at Bulldogs in Melbourne. Like, is that any worse of a game? Not really. So
well,
we can win that.
I
We
mean,
can go to Port and win that. We can beat Brisbane at home. Well, I'm not saying we're
yeah,
going to, but like we could win the next 4 weeks, and anything's possible with that. That the teams above us play out in a certain way. We potentially top four.
well, yeah. Well, like we win the next 4 weeks, we will be top four, I believe.
And you know
Um,
what else happens if we win the next 4 weeks?
what's that?
My prediction is 17 wins.
Oh, oh,
Mm,
wow. Yeah, okay. Well, no chance. We're not winning the next 4 weeks, mate. We're not winning. But I'll tell you what, if we do, that will be something.
I'll have to
What did
find
I
that
tip?
tweet. Oh, I
Yeah,
think
I
you had
think,
us down around 13th or something.
yeah, I did. I think I had us winning 7 or 8 games.
Yeah,
8 games, I think it might have been. So, no, you've got me covered. You've got me covered there. Uh, but I tell you what, if we win the next 4 weeks, mate, and you get 17, I'm buying you a beer. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
so,
Look, we'll talk a little bit about some of the other results. Before we get into some NFL. So Wanganeen Miller, um,
hell,
this guy, now you talk about Walls and picking Erasmus ahead of Wanganeen Miller. Whew, this guy, Wanganeen Miller, I'm trying to picture a player that he's like because he's not like your traditional
nah,
halfback flanker. Like he's got toughness, he's got skill. I mean, a lot of HBFs have got skill, but yeah, this guy, he is a very, very, very good player, and
absolutely
um,
ripped that game apart.
he did. He got 34 touches, kicked 4 goals. Um, but it was his last 2 goals. He took that hanger and
Yeah,
then kicked, and then orchestrated with Roll Marshall. By the way, how many ruckmen could kick that ball and hit
centimeter
Mill?
perfect
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
mind.
So I think that gets lost a little bit. The skill of Marshall to actually hit the target the way he did,
Yeah,
that gets lost a little bit. But then he's got to kick it from 50, after the siren to win the game,
yeah.
and maybe the pressure is off a bit because all he needed was behind, but he still knocked it
But I
through. So
mean, even that goal to level the scores was straight through the middle. Like,
yeah,
couldn't have kicked it any
yeah,
better. Both kicks.
yeah, ice in his veins, ice in his veins,
To
and
come from 40 odd down too, like that would. I know Melbourne's
yeah.
not much at the moment, but Jesus.
I tell you what, Melbourne, geez, they're they've got some problems. And
Yeah.
here, you want to hear a tip from me? Here's something. You heard it here first. Cosy Pickett's going to be asking for a trade to Freo in 2 years' time.
Yeah, you'll get his
I reckon.
front loaded contract. He'll take the
Yeah,
money, and then he'll ask,
yeah,
which is essentially what Reed's asking for as well, right? So he's asking for that money.
yeah, yeah. Melbourne are going to be a disaster. They are going. It's all falling apart because Gawn is 34. It is going to fall apart, and I believe Petraka and Oliver are going to both request trades. Now, Oliver, I wouldn't give anything for that guy at this point. He's finished. He's cooked. I don't think he's a half the player he was. And Petraka's 30. So, oh man, they're in trouble. They are in trouble. And the other thing, did you hear? I don't know if you heard on what was it? It might have been Gettable or it might have been something else, but they're talking about McVee to
Yeah,
Melbourne. Apparently Freo are in
and if
the
he's available
like,
for with a favourite, yeah,
which I don't understand why. I
he's
don't know
been linked
much
to
about
us
him.
for a while. I don't know a lot about him
Uh,
either, but he's been linked to us for a little while.
Yeah, so because as I understood it, he was like an Eagles supporter growing up, and so what? Why? Like, what sort of what role does he play? I don't even know what role he plays.
Oh, couldn't
Is
tell
he?
you. Well, he's a half backish type, I believe, but I haven't really
Yeah,
watched him that much.
well, that makes sense. Um, yeah,
Usually, what we recruit.
yeah. Well, if we're gonna have players who'll leave, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that comes through. But I know that he's somewhat highly rated. But yeah, I don't know enough about him to be super excited or not. Um,
You'll see. Just before we move on, I reckon Melbourne will end up like a North and a West Coast. They're gonna massively fall off the cliff very shortly, which is, I guess, what you were alluding to, being in massive
yeah,
trouble.
yeah. They don't have a lot coming through. They really don't. And like Stephen May is 30 odd. Lever,
Yeah,
they're talking about wanting to leave. He's been getting dropped. You've got Van Ruin, who's a young key position forward who, has a lot of talent, but he's been playing half VFL. Pickett's their best player by a mile. Gawn's 34. Petraka and
yeah.
Oliver want out. Um,
Their best
you've got
forward's
guys.
Melksham, who's pretty old.
Melksham's pretty old. Bailey
Tiny
Fritsch
would be up
apparently.
there.
Viney's old. Bailey Fritsch is tradable. Oh my goodness, it really does seem like the Melbourne of old. And yeah, that I tell you what, they could be in the West Coast situation very quickly.
Yeah.
So we had on here talking about Cameron's 11. Um, so
Oh
all I'll
yeah,
say,
yeah. Who he was
that's,
playing
that's
on.
yeah, all I'll say about that is
It's the reason I
Griffin
put
won't.
it on there. Really,
Yeah,
we've
I
already
spoke about
discussed it.
I spoke about Griffin earlier.
Yeah,
Lovely. I'm sure he's a lovely bloke. He's just not a good footballer. Um,
yeah,
and your 17 wins are still alive. So yeah, what a guy! If you get that, yeah, what a guy.
yeah.
I'll give you credit if it happens. But if you get 16 wins, no credit.
No
Um,
credit.
but yeah, well, what I believe is almost my true passion these days, the NFL.
Yeah,
Uh, it's on its way. Preseason games are about to kick off. Um, what are you looking forward to? I mean, you're a Patriot supporter. you've got. It's been rough sledding, but not in general, but in the last couple of years. What are you
Mm.
looking forward to, given that your best wide receiver was done with giving out drugs to hot chicks on a vessel.
Yeah, but you just sweep that shit under the carpet, mate. So he'll be all good for week one.
Did you just say snort that shit under the
Yeah, snort
carpet?
that shit. Snort, sweep, same thing.
Jeez, what
Yeah.
a mess.
No,
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to see how we integrate the new offense with Drake May and Diggs and the new O line, and how that not number one, but our first round draft pick goes, because we went with an O line guy, which probably
Mm.
wasn't what I was hoping for, but yeah, pretty keen to see how it all unfolds. I think I think we
Yeah.
might be thereabouts, potentially even for a wild card berth.
Yeah, no chance. Absolutely no chance. Never been less of a chance.
We'll see what
For
happens.
nah, no chance whatsoever. I don't say, well, I do say that being a bit facetious, being a bit yeah. I also said the Broncos were no chance, and we made the playoffs last year because Cincinnati
Yeah,
fell apart. But I suspect the Patriots will be getting another top 3 draft pick next year. Um, if you haven't traded it away. Um, yeah, for me, look, you know, I I just want to see some. Um, I just want to see some development. Now, I'm not sold on Bo Nix. I know we got to the playoffs last year, and let's face it, there has never been a team that could define making up the numbers more than what the Broncos did last. Like, we just got smacked, and that was it. Um, and look, Bo Nix had a good year, but I'll say this thing about Bo: he doesn't. I've never like he's had good games. Who reminds me of a bit? Alex Smith. He he doesn't strike me as a guy like you look at him and go, all right, you got us where we need to be, but I've never seen superstar in
yeah,
what he does. I've never seen superstar in what he does.
yeah,
Now we've got Cortland Sutton, we've got some good players. But is Bo Nix gonna be the guy who will elevate everybody else to the point where we can truly contend, bearing in the mind that we're in the same division as Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert? So yeah, shut up. Yeah, shut up. I know what you're saying. Yeah, shut up. We can't, we can't just get by. We can't have above average quarterback play. We need superstar level quarterback play.
yeah.
And,
What are you
and,
coming
and
off last year? 10 wins.
10 wins. Um, and, we snuck in. Yeah, I just don't. I think a lot of those 10 wins is because we've got a master coach as well.
Yeah,
Not,
yeah.
I feel
Say what
like,
you want about Peyton, and that's aimed at a lot of experts out there, but say what you want. He gets every inch of talent out of his squad.
yeah, and even that was only good enough to get 10 wins. Now I know Bo's young, so you expect improvement,
Mm.
but Jesus, is he the guy? I feel about Bo Nix the same way I feel about Fremantle. I just, yeah, I just don't quite see it. you know, as a likely Super Bowl winner. But then again, yeah, he might be like a Jared Goff type, maybe. So I mean, there was some pretty interesting moves in the off season, the NFL.
Mm.
I think probably the biggest one would be Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers.
Yeah, that took its time to
It's
happen.
Yeah. What do you reckon about that one? Because I've got my thoughts. What are your thoughts first?
I think there was a lot of pieces that needed to fall when it comes to the draft. In particular, where certain players getting drafted landed before other teams would commit. I think in Rogers' mind, he was the Steelers was his option, was his number one option all along. But I'm not
I
sure
don't
whether the
agree with that.
Steelers had. Yeah,
I don't agree with that. No, I don't agree with that at all. I think he wanted to go to Minnesota. He wanted to go to Minnesota.
mm,
Minnesota looked at him and decided against. Now, I understand why Rodgers would want to go to Minnesota before Pittsburgh. Look at what he would be throwing to at Minnesota. They've got every weapon. Like I honestly think if Minnesota had agreed to Rodgers, I tell you what, this McCarthy, he'd want to be good because if you had Rodgers at Minnesota this year, as washed up
Jefferson,
as he'd been,
Harrison,
as washed up as he has been, you
mm,
give him Addison and
Jefferson.
Jefferson and Hendrickson and all the other weapons, they're winning the Super Bowl. They're winning it. That's what he wanted to go there. But they obviously decided in Minnesota that McCarthy is good enough.
It's interesting that they moved on from Darnold.
Well, not really, because he choked, right? Like he choked. Um, he hit his highest possible ceiling.
Mm,
And he was way too mistake prone, I believe. And it, when it came to the crunch, he was put, like, you got to remember, he had the best offense in the league to work with. The best. And he couldn't get them past the Rams. Those shitty, stinking Rams.
you love
No. Well, I see him and Geno Smith are the same sort of player. They can get you so far that they'll get you to a playoff. They might even win you a playoff,
it. Yeah,
but they're not. They're not. They don't have it when it matters. And so I feel like I feel like that's where Darnold. Anyway, I completely interrupted you there.
having said
Um,
that about Rodgers and throwing to the potential Minnesota players, he's going to have a lot of fun throwing to Metcalf, though.
yeah, but Metcalf and who else?
Calvin Austin and Woods and Fremantle's not a
Mm,
massive receiver, but
nah, nah. He's like, nah. Yeah, look, he, nah. They're not making the playoffs. I don't think because I reckon, and this is why he wanted to go to Minnesota because you look at Minnesota.
shot in
Who
the
else have you
hole.
got in the? Well, you've got Detroit, who are top shelf, but then you've got Chicago and Green. No, not Green Bay. Is it Green Bay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Green Bay.
it's Green Bay. So, but Minnesota have the best offense in the whole league, I think. And he could have got them there, but I mean, I think Cincinnati, they've signed everyone, funnily enough, except for sorry, I said Hendrickson before at Minnesota. It was Hawkinson
Hawkinson.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hendrickson is at he's the gun out of Cincinnati now. He's the only one who hasn't signed, but they've signed everybody else that they need to sign. So and Burrow is a superstar. Then you've
Yeah.
got Baltimore, who are perennial contenders. So how is he going to get through that? And Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders, who you wouldn't probably expect to do too much, but how is he going to get through that?
Yeah, well, you got Cincinnati and Baltimore as the first two, and then they got to try and cling to a wild card. You'd expect if they could, if at all possible. But I mean, yeah, then they're going to finish third at best in that division.
Yeah, hey, it's interesting. It's really interesting. There are, you've got another, as you said, Darnold moved on and he's gone to Seattle. That is a lateral move from Geno Smith. That is the same as Geno Smith. In fact, Seattle will be worse because they let Metcalf go. So
Yeah,
my prediction
they
is
basically
that
traded Metcalf out and got Cup in. That was the. It wasn't the same deal, but that's effectively what they've done.
and Cup is perennially injured, so
Yeah.
I can't. It wouldn't surprise me if Seattle were the worst team in that division, if they came fourth in that
They've
division.
also got that Valdez Scantling who used to be at the Chiefs for a while there.
Yeah, made to look good by Patty
Oh,
Mahomes.
absolutely.
Yeah,
When you're getting the ball hitting on your tit every time, like,
yeah, he's ridiculous. Justin Fields to the Jets. Every year that guy is the preseason MVP. The preseason MVP, this guy is a superstar. You can't stop him. Watch him. Blah, blah, blah. He's going to dominate. And then he does nothing.
and then he ends
And
up as QB too.
and he's at the Jets. So, as always, the Jets will do nothing.
And they haven't changed much. Health. They've still got Brees Hall, it's still Garrett Wilson, it's still Lazard.
Is Lazard still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, they've got some weapons. So it's up to Jefferson, who, by the way, hurt his toe. He's got wearing this plastic thing on his toe, dislocated his toe. His second toe, someone dislocated it, stepped on it.
It's actually
But
got Fields is questionable now, so he must be injured.
no, that's
Is that
what I'm
who you're
saying.
talking about? Sorry, I thought you were talking about Jefferson.
Sorry, I said Jefferson. I meant Fields.
Okay.
Yeah, Fields. Yeah, and then Russell Wilson to the Giants. So, oh geez, the Giants. They that team is refusing to commit to a rebuild. That team.
I don't get it.
They just need to start over. Like they need to sell off everyone and start again. All they're going to do here is get themselves to pick 6 instead of pick 1.
Yeah, I
They're the
just
worst.
don't get it.
They're the worst team in football, I think. The Giants. They're the worst. I can't think of a team that are worse than them.
What pick did that Jackson Dart go? He was first round, wasn't he?
Yeah. To Tennessee.
So they've now put him down as QB3, right? Behind Wilson and James Winston.
Oh, Dart. Hang on. Sorry, Dart. Sorry, I was thinking of
Dart.
Ward. Yeah, Dart. Okay, so QB3 behind Wilson and
James Winston, sorry.
Is James Winston there now? Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So that's what they did with their first pick after going and getting Wilson and Winston. They went and got Jackson Dart instead of improving another one of their areas. Like, what was the
Crazy.
point of getting Wilson and Winston in? You may as well just played your rookie.
Yeah. I mean,
Or just get one of those two.
yeah, you don't need two. Like, you could have got, if it were me, I would have gotten Winston, who's a great guy, good team guy, not not an asshole. Not that Wilson is, but yeah, I would have gotten Winston in. Said, right, you've got the reins for a year.
Yeah.
Tried to build up the rest of your lineup, and improve, and then with Dart coming next, and I'm with you. I don't know why they would do that. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man.
but an ex-giant there. Oh, he's with Philly now, but Barkley extends for another 2 years.
Yeah.
Highest paid run RB in history on average
You know what?
in your value anyway. I mean, he's worth it.
He's worth it. That guy. He, yeah. That
I still got a
he
hair stand up on the back of my neck with that reverse leap
Yeah,
that he did.
yeah.
It's like we're playing Madden.
Yeah. Like I know his Super Bowl wasn't great. Like the only thing the Chiefs did well on that game was stop Barkley.
Yeah, that's pretty much where all their effort went, and probably one of the reasons why they lost it.
Yeah, yeah. So that was like the only good thing they did. But geez, yeah, he is a super player, and yeah, I kind of feel like Barkley is what if the Ravens had have picked Barkley instead of Henry, or if gotten Barkley instead of Henry, I reckon we're talking about the Ravens having won the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, it could have been multiple.
Yeah. Then your your guy Devontae Adams, sorry, to the Rams. I hope this falls apart. I
I
hope
think
this
it.
falls
I
apart.
think it's just going to. Like, it didn't work with the Jets. He followed
No.
what's his name, Rogers there, and that it didn't work out. I struggle to see how this is going to work out now.
Yeah, I think I think he slowed down, and this is really going to depend on Matt Stafford. It's really going to depend on Matt Stafford. If he can stay upright, all right.
Well, he's got to cure what he's done.
Sorry, mate, you dropped
he,
out then. What was that?
he's questionable. Stafford 4 days ago, he's got a back injury.
Oh,
He's
okay,
considered week
well,
to week.
week to week.
So that puts, you know who QB2 is there, don't you?
Oh, please, hound. Is it? Oh, I think I know. I think I know. You'll tell me, and I'll go. Yep, that. Ah, who is it? Tell me.
Jimmy.
Garoppolo.
Yeah,
Is he still there?
he's QB2.
Oh. You know what? He might be a better option than Stafford anyway. Like at this point,
Yep.
they're
So
both made of glass. They'll both fall apart. And then your man Diggs. Your man Diggs. He was
my
always
man,
always you. He was always your man. Yeah. I. But I'm not going to pretend like we don't think that those kinds of things that he was involved in, that happens I get it regularly.
Yeah.
Still makes me cringe and feel sick when I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I know.
still,
Yeah.
I look at it. I just go, I hate it. I hate it. Like, I know maybe I'm out of touch, although I don't think that disliking, recreational drugs should be out of touch. But I feel like I'm out of touch because I just can't stand it.
Yeah, I'm
Never
with you.
been a me. Never been a me thing.
Yeah.
Never done it. Don't even like seeing it.
Yeah.
I cringe sometimes in movies when I see it. And then you see footage of that shit. And you're just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, like, it honestly, it makes me want him to not do well. And he was already a pretty unlikable sort of a character. Um,
Yeah. No,
yeah,
we're going to
so
find out pretty quick how the marriage is going to go with him and Drake May. So
yeah.
he's pretty much the number one target already. Uh,
Mm.
I mean, the other options, we've got Demario Douglas and Mac Hollins, who he's carrying a bit of an injury as it is. And then we've got Hunter Henry, who, again, he struggles to catch the football at the best of times. So
I mean,
that's where I wanted our draft pick to go. Was to a receiver, but
I'll tell you this much. If you play fantasy football, Steph Diggs is the guy to get in your team because he only wants to be the number one. He doesn't give a shit about
yeah,
team. He
yeah,
cares about his numbers. And so, and he's in a position now where he will probably be 1,000-yard receiver um, if he doesn't get suspended for other stuff.
yeah,
But he's just a hard bloke to like. He's a bit like, no, so I'm not comparing the two with their off-field indiscretion,
Mhm.
but he's a bit like Harley Reid. I just struggle to like, like I know I'm not an Eagles honk,
yeah,
but just really dislikable when you watch him play. You just go, oh, you know what, that guy, the way you just don't like him.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Having said that, if he was on the Broncos or if Harley was at West Coast, sorry, at Freo, jeez, that was a Freudian slip. Then you'd love him.
Same,
Then you'd
same.
love him.
Yeah.
Where did DeAndre Hopkins end up?
Uh,
Is he still
who did
playing?
those?
Did
Yeah,
he end up on a team? Did he?
yeah. Let's say Baltimore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That is
So he sits there in a receiver line of Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and obviously Hopkins, and then the tight end of Mark Andrews.
Is Mark
Derek
Andrews
Henry
still
is
there?
the RB. Yeah.
I tell you what, that's an old list though.
Yeah.
Those guys
Isaiah
they're
Likely sitting there as he's the backup. He was all right last year. Isaiah
I
Likely.
like Isaiah. I like Isaiah likely. I like Mark
Yeah.
Andrews, but Mark Andrews I thought would be run out of town after
Oh
after
yeah. All he had to do was hang on to the ball.
yeah. I yeah, okay. Okay. So by name, that is a really good list.
Yeah.
Here's my first NFL prediction. Or I've already given one. I can't remember. Baltimore will not make the playoffs.
Won't make the playoffs with that list.
No. And here's why. Here's why. Because one, Derrick Henry is going to slow down. He has to. Two, their receiver core is old, except for Flowers, and their defense is old as well. Um, I also believe that Cincinnati have the best team in that division, and I think that this could be one of those years where only one of those teams make it from that division. Now, it's always been it's always been pushed up as one of the better divisions in the league.
Yeah.
I think you've got too many good teams elsewhere in the AFC.
So what are you saying from the East? You got the Bills.
Yeah.
And then you got Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. So you wouldn't be putting the bottom three in.
No, so you put the Bills.
And then you've obviously got the North with the Bengals, the Browns, Steelers, and Ravens.
So I think that you'll end up with the Bengals and potentially, So definitely the Bengals.
In the South, you got Titans, Colts, Jags, and Texans. Did say the Texans.
So I expect the Texans, and I also expect that. It's going to sound.
I think the Jags improve, eh?
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's going to sound so stupid. But the Jags have way too good a team. Like, just talent. They're going to have to get better. I feel
What's the
like
new
the Jags
coach's name? Cohen or something?
No, I don't know. And then you've got
your list. Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers.
Which I think the same three from last year will make it.
Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers.
Yeah. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there's 8, isn't there? All right, so I honestly believe it'll be between Baltimore and Steelers, probably, or unless the Dolphins somehow come together.
Well, that AFC, the Buffaloes are just Buffaloes. The Bills are going to rule that, and then Dolphins, Pats, and Jets. I don't know what's going to happen there.
No, I can tell you what's. I can tell what's going to happen there. it'll be the Dolphins, and then the Jets and Pats are going to be garbage.
I think the Pats are going to surprise a few.
They might surprise you in that.
Well, they won't surprise me. I'm a little bit of expectation.
Well, you got minimum expectation. I reckon they'll go under your expectation. That's what the surprise will be. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. Right, mate. It's been good. Hopefully this all come through. Okay. To everyone out there, you can't handle the truth. We're back, living the dream, and I'll talk again soon.